Hello, ladies. I hope that your day is going well and struggle love free. In this video, I want to talk about when the math isn't mathing, the spirit of confusion, and how to avoid it. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time that I upload a new video. So in this video, I'm referencing when the math ain't mathin', when the math isn't mathin'. And I think that's something that can happen, something that can be a common theme for us as women until we break free from cognitive dissonance, unless we have a true, strong sense of our worth and our value, and we do not hedge, we do not shift, we do not cave in when it comes to our standards, our expectations, our criteria, our boundaries. If we are very steadfast in maintaining them, then we can avoid the spirit of confusion. But if we unfortunately have been socialized, groomed, and taught to enter into relationships that really aren't in our best interest, because this is part of the struggle love matrix. This is part of having any piece of a man is better than having no man, that mindset. This is part of being male-centered and having a relationship be of primary importance above our health, our wellness, our stability, our peace. And it's very important, of course, that we break free from that. But what can happen when we are in that state of cognitive dissonance, when we are programmed to operate in struggle love, when we have acquiesced to this mindset and to this construct and to this dynamic, is that we'll see red flags. We will see that there are things where the math doesn't math. For an example, we may meet a man who says that he has a particular job and a particular income, and he may say that he owns homes or owns a home and has a number of assets. But then very quickly in the relationship, he will begin to suffer financial instability. And the financial instability runs counter to someone who has stability, who truly has assets, who has resources. So very soon in the relationship, it could be 3 months, it could be 1 month, it could be even 6 months. But he is going to suffer some sort of financial setback and is going to be looking to you to help him escape it. So this could be something happening with his taxes. It could be back child support. It could be supposedly he's gotten a lien on his bank account and it's been frozen. It can be any number of excuses or supposed scenarios that are playing out that for some reason have caused him to be without income, and where he is comfortable soliciting financial help from you. Now, again, for a man who is financially stable, having a setback will not cause him to be penniless or to be without any sort of income streams he can tap into. So that's one of those red flags that we should be paying close attention to. Also, because if this man has financial stability, it's not only that he should have savings, but he should also be able to, if he has a home, for example, he should be able to borrow against his home. He should be able to take out a loan with his credit union or bank. He should be able to obtain a loan perhaps from family or friends. So if you are newly entering into a relationship with him and he's already very comfortable soliciting funds for you, especially if it's a large amount of funds, if it's a large amount that he is asking you to loan him, that is a major red flag. His math isn't mathing. Also, if you look at another scenario where the math and not math, because it's not going to math, it's not going to make sense, it's not going to be logical, it's not going to add up because he's not being truthful, is when a man is supposedly divorced or supposedly not in a relationship, but he's very, very secretive. You never see any type of proof that shows that he was ever divorced. He doesn't like to talk about it. He is reticent to show you proof or to go into the particulars about it. He is someone who not only is very secretive, but he may be extremely averse to you ever seeing anything on his phone, ever seeing any messages.
Leaves the room each time.
He's very averse to going out in public. He most certainly doesn't want you to post anything including him on social media. And I understand that there's a private person, but there's a difference between being a private person and being someone who has a secret. So if he's not disclosing large portions of his life to you, he certainly does not have you intersecting with family and friends. He is very averse to anything where his name is ever mentioned by you to other people. There are significant parts of his past that he does not want to talk about. There are periods of time that are missing in terms of what has occurred during his lifetime, and he's not willing to talk about it. Those are red flags. That is, again, math, not mathing. And drilling down into specifically scenarios where a man is actually involved with other women, but he's not disclosing that, he's not sharing that. There are a number of scenarios that will, in all likelihood, come up that will show you that he is not the single man that he claims to be. And when it comes to men who are claiming that they are divorcing, that they are separated, that is always going to mean unequivocally he is still married. So he is not single and he is not available. He may say that he's sleeping on the couch. He may say that they're just married in name only. He may say they're waiting until the kids graduate from high school or middle school or college, what have you. He may be saying that they're trying to work it out, but there's different financial things that they have to disentangle. But at the end of the day, he is a married man. And sometimes men will string the side woman along for not only months, but years, talking about he's in the process of divorcing. But it doesn't normally take years for someone to be able to finalize a divorce. If they are actually truly have filed and they are actually going through the process, if they already have come to a determination of how assets are going to be split up, and then there's no fault divorce where you don't have to go into all of the rationale of why the marriage ended. It's no fault. So you can go ahead and file and move forward. But I always discourage, and I will always discourage women from getting involved with any man that is still married, because no matter how he may be portraying it as if they're leading two separate lives, or if it's just about over, or if it's a marriage in name only, the math is never going to math because he is still married. He is certainly not single. So it's very important when we are seeing red flags, such as also when a man tells you that he is someone who is emotionally intelligent, when he says that he is very responsible, he's reliable, but you see that he gets mad at little things. You see that he easily becomes disgruntled. You see flashes of anger with him. You see overreaction. Very important, again, that we not overlook these things, that we not overlook these red flags, which in some cases are actually stop signs, come to a complete stop. And that's why it's so important that we do our research, that we do our vetting and we do our data collection to determine if this man is a good match for us, to determine, is this a relationship I should be embarking upon? Because it can become a lot more difficult to get out of that relationship versus avoiding getting into it in the first place. So it's important to know, does this man share the same ideals, the same core values? Does he have the same sort of mindset about life? And is he emotionally intelligent? Is he emotionally stable? Is he financially stable? Is he spiritually grounded? Is this a man that God would want me to be with? Is this a man that's going to help me in terms of enhancing my life? Or is he going to be detrimental? Is he going to cause me to detour from my purpose and from my vision and from my goals and from what I have been achieving and plan to achieve? That's what's very important for us to be mindful of, so that we do not have this spirit of confusion enter into our life, where all of a sudden we had previously had this stable life, we're grounded, we have goals, things are moving along great. And then all of a sudden we have all of this upheaval, we have chaos, we have drama, may even enter into trauma because of this relationship that's very discordant that we really shouldn't be involved in. All of a sudden we start to see how our life has become fragmented by being involved with this man. Maybe he has said that he's very much into family and friends, but we find out as we're dating him that we start to see with his personality that he really only wants us to spend time with his family and friends when we are a couple doing activities. He only wants us to spend time with his family and friends. He's very averse to being around our family and friends. Or maybe he doesn't want us to spend time with anyone else, just the two of us all the time. So we will start to become confused because something isn't adding up here, because he stated that he was one way, but then we're seeing someone else jump out from behind the mask. If we do our screening and vetting, if we really do an assessment to determine who this man is and whether he's a good match for us, that can help us if we take our time, if we don't get love bombed and rushed into a relationship prematurely, then we can determine, is this someone I should become romantically involved with, or is he someone who could just be a friend? And maybe not even a friend, maybe just an acquaintance. But that's the importance in taking our time, not being love bombed, certainly not getting entangled in a soul tie to where we try to keep a relationship going that really should have never started to begin with. It's very important that we are mindful of not getting caught up, because it will bring confusion to our life. It will bring drama. It can bring trauma. It can bring discordance. It can bring instability to our life when we're involved with a man who does not have the same values, does not have the same goals, who is not spiritually grounded, who is not financially stable, who may not be emotionally stable or even mentally stable. And also when he is someone who presents himself one way, but then we find out the true him, is completely different. Far better to be single than to bring that drama into our life. If we're going to be in a relationship, it should be one where there is reciprocity, where there is loyalty, where there is stability, where we are being supported mutually, where he is a man that cares about us, but not just cares about us, but wants to see us thrive and prosper and wants to enhance our life, and does not feel comfortable bringing drama and bringing confusion and being untruthful and being disloyal, and being someone where when he presents himself initially, the version of him that we see later, the two don't add up. The two are discordant and the math doesn't math. If we do our due diligence, if we use our screening and vetting, and if we use our discernment, that can help us to prevent going down a path that will ultimately bring drama to our life and can be a major detour and a liability rather than an asset. So let me know what you think in the comments beneath the video. As always, be blessed, continue to level up, stay far away from the struggle matrix, because you deserve better.